That doesn't give me much confidence.
That was a bit more stressful than I thought.
Yay! I think it's day 10. Pretty sure it's day 10. Don't do it this time of year. Did that sink or that float?
It's so dark.
Welcome back to part 2 of painting our narrowboat. We've spent 5 days stripping and rust treating, which was last week's video. If you haven't seen that, go and catch up there. Today, a little bit of filling and then onto our undercoat, which is a zinc phosphate primer. There's just a couple bits of the pitting I want to get rid of. A little bit of a bad bit here which has been filled before. And the pièce de resistance. We discovered a hole hidden in some filler as we're stripping. That's the spray foam in there, so we can't really weld anything over the top. We're just going to do our best and fill it and hope for the best. I'll start with the deepest hole, so it's got longest to dry. Did that sink or that float? Oh, not again. A couple of weeks back I dropped my wedding ring in to the canal, so I don't wear it anymore. I found it, but I don't wear it anymore. This is big boy metal filler, ultra tough. Works on steel, zinc, aluminium, heat resistant and conductive. Ready to go? Can we change your filters? If you're wondering what time it is, it's just gone 8 o'clock. We spent most of the day back at my parents' doing the video and letting this stuff cure. Last episode finished till 8 o'clock. There's a nice cover to go up out the back here just to stop any sort of dust or wind blowing anything, so we're going to chuck that on round.
It needs to come in front of this bit. We've done the middle one.
Okay, that's alright. We got that. One?
Yeah.
Gonna be a long night. Just stopped for a cup of tea and coffee. Roof is done. Thank God, that is the hardest bit. That handrail is awful. We're going to tackle one side at a time, both together. Start off on port, I think. I'm just going to move the boat.
5 minutes to midnight, and we've just got the other side left to do, and then the back bit. So maybe another hour. Reckon?
Yeah.
No. These masks really help, by the way. The fume one. Recommend.
It really is quite fumy in it.
Yeah. It's going to be when Joe did the back, the front. I can't even talk. When Joe did the front stern. No. Oh, when Joe did that bit anyway, the bedroom smelt the bow. When Joe did the bow, it smelled really strong in the bedroom, so hopefully we'll be able to sleep. If it will just pass out anyway.
Starboard?
Yeah. We made it. It's 1:15 in the morning. We are going to bed after we've tidied. So probably another 20 minutes. Oh. See you in the morning, or maybe the afternoon. Might have a lie-in if I'm lucky.
Good morning or afternoon. This is day 7 in a row for us, so a little bit of a late start.
What was that?
It's because I didn't put any lines on the stern, so we're moving about a bit. I can't eat another one. I've had 4 biscuits.
Don't give me them. I don't need it. I don't need 3.
I can't eat another one.
Please
I'll put it back in the packet. I honestly can't look at them. First task today. Oh, you can't see. We're going to sand this door down and then white in. And then white in the bow.
I would just like to have a day off.
No, not happening.
That's what I would like.
Come on then. Got your work clothes on?
Yeah.
I'll meet you out there then.
How's the biscuit? And the tea.
Hello, Doris. Good morning. You're not going to help Danny get out of bed, are you? Come on in. Come on in.
Hello. Hello, I was just thinking about you. Daily dose of Doris. Hello, pretty girlie. You okay? It's not going to be so loud and hefty.
Just a bit of sanding.
Just some sanding.
Ready to finally grow up and try the pointy tape method for pouring paint.
Oh, you're doing it?
So if you ask your local paint or builder's merchant nicely, any paint that's been sat on the shelf, just put it in their shaking machine, and then you haven't really got to stir it, only a gentle stir there.
Is it thicker at the bottom?
It will naturally settle a bit at the bottom. That does still want a bit though.
Does it still want a bit of a shape, doesn't it?
This was a couple of weeks ago I picked this up. Like that, turn up a bit.
I feel like we did this before and it didn't work.
Yeah, I just taped a bit over the edge. Like that bit's just gonna wanna...
Is that working?
Not overly, you still get a big old mess on that, don't you? Don't know, you feel like a lot of effort for not massive gain. There we are. I'll try these things.
Worth a shot, wasn't it? Just going everywhere now.
You happy painting that?
Yeah.
I'm going to take the windows up.
Alright.
Go on, sir.
Oh, wow.
So first coat on the bows, then we're going to tackle the roof now. And the mask just laying along there, and the green from here below, white, carry the white on over here basically. Right, ready for the roof?
Ready!
Yay!
Woo!
Only paint. Day 8 in a row. I thought I'd treat us to an actual proper coffee. Thank you to EcoFlow for not draining our batteries. Got a little visitor as well, again. Hello Doris. You nice and warm? It's a bit cold up today, isn't it? Almost too cold to paint at the minute, so we're having...
Is it tacky out there?
No, that was dried last night.
Really?
So the beauty of the Dulux paints that we're using, recoat time on the gloss is between 4 to 6 hours, maybe a touch longer this time of year. I was looking at the Craftmaster ones, that's 24 hours minimum, that'd be even longer now. And when it's 140 quid a day, time is money, unfortunately. So we're aiming to get 2 coats of white today, and that'll be the white done. Gave it a couple of hours just to let the air temperature come up a bit. It was about 6 or 7 degrees, went as low as 1 degree overnight. Should be alright to paint now. Still's a little cold, but I've had the paint inside, just give that a chance of warming up. So second coat on the bow's done. It does say it's only a 3 coat system, 1 undercoat and 2 top coat. Radio's on. But I feel if you're going on a grey undercoat, you will definitely need at least 3 coats. So we're just going to tackle second coat on the roof. Ready?
Ready.
Hopefully that dries in time, and we might get a chance of doing a 3rd coat today on both, so it can dry overnight. And then 2 coats of green tomorrow.
And then I'm off to work.
Yeah.
Back in your lonesome.
Right, a few hours later, just got back from the pub. We had a nice pub lunch and a pint, and we are ready to go again. Starting with the bow deck. Coat green. 3 coats later, and the roof and bow deck looking gleaming just about 11 o'clock, and this one is adamant just going to peel the tape off tonight. It's going to be wet on your hands, mind.
Drip mark.
Yeah, that's right, we're painting green over, so I'm not too much.
Just to say, before anyone comments on this, we are going to paint these, that's why we didn't mask.
Yeah, we're going to sand and redo them. Yeah. Start properly then.
Yeah, I know, but it won't come off. It's got paint on it.
Just go covering it, pull the grey off.
Joe.
It's peeling a bit off, isn't it? Something?
What else are you going to do? You've got to take it off now.
Not very low tack, is it?
So we've just peeled off the tape. That was a bit more stressful than I thought. The other side that you can't see on the camera is pretty much perfect. There's like a couple of tiny dots that you won't notice once we paint it green, but on this side there are a couple of bits that have ended up ripping off the undercoat and a bit of the vac tan, which isn't ideal. We've got this one here, and then on a bigger bit, it was a bit sticky because when the hatches were put in they already had like silicone or something similar, and then Joe did that again before we knew we were going to paint the boat, so we don't know if it's the residue of that didn't help, but we've got this. which is less than ideal. I think we're going to have to sand that back once the roof is dry tomorrow, and yeah, figure something out again, which is a bit disheartening, but overall I'm really pleased with it. I think it looks great. What do you think? Now, bed is calling me.
I think Danny filled you in last night. This is what happens when you don't prepare the surface properly. We'll try and rescue it this morning. A few hours later, still a bit dubious about putting the masking tape on the white yet. Just tested a little bit, and a bit of the white came off from up here, which is probably just from the grip or something, but also I tried a little bit more just randomly on the grey and it's peeled a bit off, which really isn't good. It's not what you want. It's basically, I think, where the primer's not liking the vac tan, or is something that's been left on the surface. It might just be a real random bit, but doesn't give me much confidence. Danny's got a head to work in a minute, and we're really keen to see how the green looks and how well it covers, so we are going to do a little bit just on the front, on the bow, little triangle grid bit, just so we can see, because that requires no masking anyway.
It's so dark. I know it's not.
You sort of sit on the edge, you get a bit more light into it. Trudy green. As long as it looks good for a few days until it falls off.
No, I didn't say that. Right. Yeah?
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's just going to look like black in this light, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, it covers better than the white anyway. Can't really tell on the camera, can you? Actually looks like black. Green.
Love it.
Dark green.
It looks dark. I think it's less light once you go out.
Hopefully they'll tell the green a
It'll
bit
be
more.
like Trudy.
So this isn't actually finished because I think we've mentioned it before, but we're going to put black and white funky pattern,
Yeah.
like old Dazzle camouflage from First World War? Can't remember. It looks really cool
Can't
though.
remember. Were you there?
Oh, I wasn't there. This one's off to work. Bless you.
I'd rather be here.
Huh?
I'd rather be here.
Don't blame you. I'm going to brave it and tape up the white line and paint more green.
Green is my favorite color, and 8 is my favorite dollar. Doubt makes me feel whatever, and rain is my favorite weather.
Thought I was done for the evening. Had a quick look round to make sure there's no massive drips or anything coming off, and just as well I checked. Must be a bit tired. I'm going to finish that off and call it a night. I'll catch you in the morning. Looking great though. Really pleased with it so far. Good morning, day 10, I think. Have you been counting? I think it's day 10. Pretty sure it's day 10. Not long got over from my parents, went back last night. Had to pick a couple bits up, like some more timber for the rails to lift the hatch up because that grinds. One thing I was going to say, for anyone somewhat into coffee, and for whatever reason haven't got access to a coffee machine or whatever, this instant that I bought for the build, I wasn't spending too much time with my coffee machine. Really good. L'Or number 8 Vigoroso. Really good. £3.50 I think from Tesco's. Would recommend. Not sponsored, unfortunately. Their coffee pods are pretty good as well. If you've got an espresso machine, the all ones are good.
Green is my favorite color, and 8 is my favorite dollar. Doubt makes me feel whatever, and rain is my favorite weather.
For anyone that remembers the pot noodle green in our living room, what do you think about our pint of Guinness looking boat? Uncanny. Good morning, day 11. Dad's come over to give us a hand, put the solar panels back on. Paint's still rather soft though. Just scratching a little. Easy, so you have to be real careful. All good fun. Made some little rubber pads up on the bottom of these rather than silicone in the one. We're going to go for it? Yeah. Next job, I cut some little add-ons for our runners because these were a copy of the originals, but these don't work with that hatch. And the hatch, these were slide on the roof, and obviously we don't want to scratch the roof. So I just need to raise them up by a little bit.
On there,
About 20
back
mil.
there,
Yeah, drop them on
mark
that.
that back end.
Yeah.
Put the pencil underneath, describe that shape underneath. It's curved, isn't it?
Oh yeah, yeah, that's easier. That's what I was going to get a professional involved. Good morning, absolutely stunning day out today. We've got a nice little cruise, but we're going to save that for next week. We're basically just going to pull out onto the towpath and show you what the paint looks like in daylight, so hopefully it'll look quite nice. Just filled the water tank up before we leave. Danny's jumped in the shower, and then I'm going to, then we'll be pulling out shortly.
We spent a long time last night cleaning, and Joe was getting everything put away and things, and forget how spacious this boat is, like just with no tools lying around, the floor cleaned. It's a dream, waking up and going into the kitchen today. I forgot, I was like, oh, this is nice.
I mean, it's still a little bit messy, but compared to how it's been, wind picked up a bit, hasn't it?
What way's the wind blowing us?
The wind will take it back that way, which is where we want it to go anyway.
So we were going to film some lovely shots now on the drone and see the beautiful colour, but it is raining and quite windy, so wow, it is quite rainy.
So a quick tour on the outside, then we need to do the lock, but still looks a bit black out here.
Does it?
When the sun's on it, it's green, I promise.
It does look green.
It does. Oh yeah, it does look green. Shiny, look at the blue, your coat.
So we still need to do the stern?
Huh?
Stern. 2 years on, I'm still not sure. So we still need to do the stern deck. We're going to try and do that this year, but I'm not holding hope. Depends on the weather, because it's got to be done outside. So this is the only bit that really needs some TLC.
Yeah.
We're going to paint the top bit there. I don't know what it's called. This one. So we're going to do that black and white stripes like we're going to do either end. But yeah, really pleased with it. Some advice for someone who's about to paint their boat.
Don't do it this time of year. Wait quite a while in between coats, even longer than it says on the tin, because it's still soft, it's still dry now. Apart from that, just give it a go, isn't it? Look at it, it's alright, DIY job.
Saved about 10 grand.
Save 10 grand. Alright, tip. Right, should we get through this lot? It is. And we'll see you next week, hopefully. We're going on a cruise now, I don't know if we said or not, but we're not going back to our marina.
Woo!
We're going rolling down the river. I'll leave it at that, thank you. I just would like to have it off for 10 minutes, so I've got to do the paint on that. So the bow's nearly ready for paint. I'm just going to start masking the windows. So the bow's ready for paint near enough. Left it a couple hours this morning just for the air temperature to come up a little bit.
Can you not show me the day?